Alright, John Oakes here with Hankster's Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location. And today, yes, we have another addition to our inventory, and this is going to be a really nice 1967 Chevrolet Camaro RS. Now, as you can see here, ours is done in the silver exterior, probably the Cortez silver. That's the usual color for the Camaros there. And as you can see, we've got the black trim. We've got the black Bumblebee nose stripe here. Also, the black vinyl top on this car as well. Now, as you can see, this is an RS. It's done up with all the RS goodies. It's got the front grille with the hideaway headlights. We've got the 2-inch steel Cowl induction hood here that obviously fits really well, and we'll get another shot as we go around the front of the car there. We also have, to complete the package of the whole look of the car, is the front air dam and the rear trunk spoiler on this car as well. Now, our car sits on all 15-inch wheels here. These are the factory GM Camaro Rally wheels, and we have Cobra Radial GT tires on here. 235/60 15s on the front and 255/60 15s on the rear. Now, all the bright work on this car, all of your wheel lip moldings, the drip rail moldings, all of the window trim, as well as the rocker moldings here, door handles and mirror, all of that stuff is in really great shape. It's all polished up nice, no pitting to speak of. Looks really good on this particular car. Even your trim rings and center caps on the wheels are all in really good shape. Now, as I mentioned, mirror, this car does have the driver's side mirror on it, which again is in great shape. The glass in that is in great shape too. Our doors, all of our gaps are very uniform the whole way around the car. Elevations are good with this too, as far as meeting up with the front fender and the rear quarter panel as well. Our glass in this car, you can see, is all in good shape. There's no chips or cracks in it. Even the vent window looks really good, and the quarter window. Now let's go inside and take a look at that interior. Now, as you'll see, we've got the front bucket seats. All the upholstery is done in the Houndstooth interior. This is the factory dash, factory instrumentation, with the exception of 2 aftermarket gauges, one being the oil pressure, the other being the water temperature. Now, this is an air car, so when we go under the hood, you will see the compressor and so forth for the air conditioning. The carpeting's in great shape. We've got the front seat belts for it too. Obviously, that wood grain steering wheel you see in there, the door panels are in great shape, and this does have an aftermarket AM/FM CD player in it with speakers in the rear package tray. All of our, I forgot to mention, all of our weather stripping and seal around the door and window areas, those are all in great shape too. You don't see any chunks or anything torn out of it. They're all nice and soft, and they should seal up really well from the outside elements. Door shuts nice and easy, and again, does not hang out whatsoever. It fits nice and flush. The top on this car, the vinyl top, it's in great shape too. A couple of things I always do. I always feel through the drip rail here to make sure that's nice and smooth, and it is on this car. And at the very bottom edges of the vinyl top, you'll actually run your finger around those and see that those are smooth too. Again, all of your bright work, all that trim around that vinyl top is in great shape. As I mentioned, we've got the rear trunk spoiler. The trunk itself, that fits all well. All of your gaps and elevations according to your rear fenders here and quarter panels, those all look really good. Your rear glass is in great shape too. And again, you can look at the moldings around the rear window. Those are in really nice shape also. Now, also with your RS or your Rally Sport Camaro, you're going to have the RS gas cap, just as this one does. And you'll notice this has the correct RS taillights in it. So they're all solid red across the back here. The lenses are in great shape. The bezels are in great shape too. Rear bumper, no pitting. The chrome looks good. And then down below, this is your correct RS lower valance with those backup lights cut into it. So that is exactly the way it should be for the RS. Now, as we come around the other side, again, nothing new here. You can just kind of take a look at the condition as we walk around the car. Again, your gaps and elevations on your doors are all good, even on the passenger side. The glass, again, over here is in great shape. Vinyl top, same thing, in great condition. We'll open up so you can get a look from the passenger side now. And again, carpeting's in great shape, seat upholstery, all looks new in the car pretty much. The dash pad, there's no cracks or tears in that. And again, you'll see that that dash too has been color matched to the car. It is painted the same silver. And again, that side shuts nice and easy too. So as we come around now to the front, as we had over on the other side, we've got the matching Camaro emblem here. We've got the, now this has 327 cross flag emblems on the fender, but we've got something a little different under the hood. And then of course we've got those RS emblems there on the front fender as well. Now as we walk around the front, again, our chrome front bumper's in great shape. This is the RS grille here with those hideaway headlights, that look that a lot of guys like. Of course, like I said, we've got this black bumblebee nose stripe with our 2-inch cowl hood. And again, you can look at the fitment of the hood. Looks really good on this particular car. Windshield's in great shape. And again, it's got the black front air dam down underneath to give it that final look. Now we'll go ahead and open this hood, and I will go back because I did forget to open up the trunk for you real quick. But we'll go ahead and open the hood up. Let me find our latch. There it is. And we'll talk about the motor real quick here. So again, once we get the hood open, you can see we've got the hood insulation. It's all tacked up the way that it should be. You don't see anything hanging down, no tears or anything underneath. It looks really good. As far as the engine goes, this is a 350 crate motor, 5.7 liter 350. It's got the chrome air cleaner on it, got the chrome Edelbrock valve covers with the breathers there. Of course, we've got upgraded HEI ignition back there with, looks like, let me just take a peek here. Looks like a set of possibly MSD plug wires there. It's some sort of aftermarket wire, a lot thicker wire there. It's got the Edelbrock Performer EPS aluminum intake on it. As I mentioned, we do have aftermarket air conditioning on this car. You can see the compressor all hooked up with all the lines and hoses there. Got an aluminum radiator to help cool this thing, along with a nice chrome shroud. It does have a, looks like a 6-blade aluminum flex fan on it to help keep it cool too. All your heater lines and hoses, those all look nice and dry underneath here too. A Edelbrock carburetor there too, 4-barrel carb. So that's going to get you going nice and good there. As far as the brakes and the steering, it is power brakes and it is power steering. We do have disc brakes up front, which also have been slightly upgraded with some stainless steel Brake Corporation calipers on there. So again, good calipers, good parts on this car. And your proportioning valve and everything, that's all through Stainless Steel Brake Corporation. As far as all of that goes, that is your engine. Now, behind that motor, we've got a turbo 350 automatic transmission, 10-bolt GM POSI rear end with 342 gear in it. And like I said, I did forget to go over the trunk there, so let's go ahead and do that. Because again, we want you to see the condition of that. I just kind of forgot to go over that with you. So here we go. So the trunk lock works really good. Trunk hinge and springs all work. You can see the underside of the trunk painted that same silver as the rest of the car. All of your trunk weather stripping here, that's in great shape too. The trunk floor itself, that's in great shape. There's no holes, no patching. It's got all the drain plugs in it there too for you. So again, all in great shape, and that is the trunk. So, all right, so we are underneath our 1967 Camaro RS. So we're going to go through, as we do with all our vehicles, all of the underside components here that we see: floors, frames, steering, suspension, wheels, tires, and just tell you exactly what we are looking at underneath here. So starting here at the front, this car is pretty much all stock as far as your front suspension goes. Stock A-arms, both uppers and lowers. Ball joints are in great shape. They've been greased and maintained, and the rubber dust boot covers are intact on all of the ball joints there. Steering, it's a power steering car. All of our tie rods, the balls on those are in great shape, greased and maintained, and the rubber dust boot covers are all intact on all 4 of those as well. Brakes, it is power brake as well. We've got disc brakes up front. It looks like it has stainless steel Brake Corporation calipers on it, so slightly upgraded disc brakes on the front. And then we've got the drum brakes out on the back of the car as well. The front cross member's in great shape. The subframe on this car, nice and straight, good and square the whole way back through here, as you can see. The transmission cross member here, that's nice and straight, and the actual transmission mount itself, that is in great shape too. As far as the drive line, let's go over that since we're up front here. We've got the small block Chevy motor here up front. We've got a turbo 350 automatic transmission. And again, looking at the oil pan on the motor and the pan on the transmission all the way around, it is nice and dry. I don't see any leaks or drips. Even the seal on the back of the motor here where your drive shaft goes in your slip yoke, that looks to be in good shape with no leaks or drips there either. As far as the remaining drive line, of course you've got your drive shaft. It is balanced. And then we've got a 10-bolt GM rear end here. This is the 8.2-inch ring gear. It's a POSI unit in here, and it's a 342 gear. As far as the rear suspension, as you can see, multi-leaf rear suspension. Just your typical gas shocks here. These are KYB GR2 shocks. So, you know, again, a bit of an aftermarket shock, but they're a good shock, so should, you know, dampen everything really nice for you. And then clear in the back here, we've got our stock fuel tank. Looks to be in great shape. It looks to be a fairly new tank. All the straps are in great shape, mounting hardware and such. All of that is in really good shape on this car. As you can see, the floors, these are all, you know, stock floors. They haven't been patched up from what I can see. I don't see any holes, and you can see all of your lines here and so forth. Again, no flat metal in this car. Again, all the right floors in this car, and they're in good shape. You might see just a tinge of like undercoating that I see here, the texture, but for the most part it's just black underneath here. Looks really good. Your pinch welds on this car on both sides, nice and straight the whole way down the sides. Rockers from underneath, from what we can see, those are in great shape too. As far as the brake lines and fuel lines, brake lines are all run along the side or underneath the car here. We've got that spiral wrap that goes around anywhere there's a hard bend, so it helps prevent any kind of kinking in the lines. Fuel lines, same thing. And then this one does have your emergency brake all hooked up. So your front cable, the correct frame J hooks, intermediate cable, and then of course your rear cables back to the rear drums on this car. The only other thing then, exhaust. You can see right here, dual exhaust. Now they've got a set of shorty style headers here coming into your dual exhaust here, crossover pipe, and then of course a set of they look to be like just like a typical set of like turbo style mufflers here. And then of course your correct style tailpipes up over top of the rear housing, and then they exit out right between your leaf spring here and the rear quarter panel, just as they should. Wheels and tires would be the last remaining thing we have to go over. Cobra Radial GT tires on all four corners of the car. Treads in really good condition on these, and the sizes on these are going to be 235/60 R15s on the front and 255 R60s on the back, and those are all mounted on factory steel rally wheels, and they have the beauty rings and the centers on them as well, in great shape. So we're going to go ahead and drop this off the lift now. We'll go underneath the hood and fire that motor up for you. That way you get to hear what it sounds like.